In today's Crypto Corner, we are heading out to LA. We've got the story of one artist who recently sold his NFT artwork for $38,000. It's now valued at over $100,000. Not bad for someone who used to help his immigrant parents sell flowers on the streets of LA to make a living. Let's bring in the artist himself, Jesus Martinez, the decentralized artist, I should say, joining us from LA. We've also got Yahoo Finance's Danny Romero. This is a great story, Jesus, and I think it really speaks to just how low the barriers are for entry. And that's kind of been really the push for NFTs, right? Talk to me about where you got the idea and how this all played out.
Yeah, of course. And, thank you for having me on the show. So it just happened, one of my good friends, David Carey, he used to be the chairman of Hearst magazines. In the beginning of the year, I told him I wanted to dive into the NFT space. And, he was very kind enough to introduce me to his great friend. And, what they're doing a lot of stuff in the NFT space. Keith Grossman from Time Magazine. And, I'm not sure if you heard, Time Magazine is doing such a great thing in building a community, going into Web3 and just being genuine with their new audience and new endeavor, diving into crypto. And, from there, he just introduced me to a lot of top collectors, a lot of top artists, and just took me under his wing. And, I just told my story. My family used to sell flowers to make a living. And I feel art and life is all about just storytelling and, sharing those stories with one another. And that's what makes us humans, the ability to, share those emotions and share those memories with one another.
Yeah, and Jesus, it's Danny. Can you talk to us a little bit about the significance behind your first piece, Genesis, and what your royalty fee is from now on?
Yeah, so it's standard and throughout the blockchain is 10%. And the significance of Genesis, I chose that name because it's the beginning. Genesis, throughout history as reference as to as a new beginning or something, a new beginning of I've always aspired to become a philanthropist, and I feel with crypto, like you guys stated, it's no barriers are no longer there, and I want to all the crypto I'm collecting through my artwork is so I can do social initiatives, whether it's doing a nonprofit, doing my own foundation, just making the world a better place, and that's what I aspire to do with all the crypto and as an NFT artist. That's the story I continue to tell to other collectors and people in the space.
Yeah, and can you talk to us a little bit about making the art? I find that very interesting. And can you talk to us a little bit, step by step, that process and how you're able to do that?
Yes. So I use various programs. It can be Photoshop, it can be Procreate, which is a pretty common one you hear now. I use Sketchbook Pro. So I basically just just get inspiration from what I see daily in my everyday life. People, we all have emotions. We all have different situations we're going through in life, but what makes us human is it doesn't matter what we're going through, but at the end of the day, we all feel sorrow, happiness, and love, and that's what I'm just trying to distinguish in my pieces when I make those get common traits that we feel as humans, and and just share with one another those emotions. And sometimes a piece can take from a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it really depends, the emotion I'm trying to express throughout the piece. And that's what I could say with my creative process.
Yeah, Jesus, what's it like, though, seeing your artwork sell for so much? Going from, I guess, I don't know if you had sold anything before the NFTs that you put out there, but I mean, what's that feel like to know, oh, wait, there's actually a higher premium here for what I'm putting out than maybe I thought?
It feels surreal, but at the same time, I think there's still a bigger mission or bigger thing to accomplish is, get to that state where I can give back more than I receive. And I feel everything I do is for my parents and, just trying to help other people. And I got an upcoming drop on New Year's Day with the Mad Pups. And there's a lot of artists that are going to be on that drop on Nifty Gateway on New Year's Day. But it's pretty surreal, the feeling, growing up in poverty, living day by day, not knowing whether the next day you're going to have enough money for food, or whether, you're going to basically be homeless. So it's a pretty good feeling now to have financial freedom. But at the same time, I'm saying, I have my eyes on the long-term perspective and, building for long-term into space.
Yeah, and Jesus, I think your story really sort of represents why so many people are bullish on this space. You know, those who say that, look, you can just be an artist, sort of putting out your artwork out there without the big names behind you. What do you see as the potential for artists like yourselves when you talk about NFTs and where you think it's going to move forward?
I think moving forward, it's gonna stay here just because there's so many people entering the space. There's so many stories being shared. Web3, what we call Web3, is all about community, genuineness, ownership, and I think we're in a transition now. The pandemic accelerated our growth towards like these NFTs, cryptos, like all these terms you're hearing, cold wallet, hot wallet, and I think a crypto is open to everybody. It gives everyone an equal chance to do something great, and I think that's what makes this new internet beautiful. Like it doesn't matter where you come from, the skin color, or regardless like of your situation, everyone has an equal opportunity to do great and create value in the blockchain.
Jesus Martinez, decentralized artist, joining us from LA. Appreciate your time today, and our thanks to Danny Romero as well for joining in on the conversation.